Good morning. It is Sunday, and I came out here. Let me first say, I came out here because it was so bright. And I was like, it is bright outside. It is winter, and it is just so gorgeous outside. Let me go ahead out. Then the sun went behind the clouds, y'all. I was like, okay, I'll go out anyway. I wanted to take the time to talk to you all about, good morning, Rebecca, about a day in the life of an MSer. And if you've been following me for the past 4 days at least, I've been talking about, for the 12 days of Christmas, I've been talking about the the days in the life, the day in the life of an MSer. So today I want to bring some attention to mental health, specifically depression, because it just happens to befall those of us who have multiple sclerosis. But I would first like to say, before there was a pandemic, before there was a pandemic, there were a group of us, not just MSers, I'm sure, but there were people who were already isolated. When the pandemic came around and there was an outcry of people being isolated and the impact it was having on their mental health, the first thing I thought was, this is my everyday. What are they talking about? Chill out. But I suddenly realized that it was a big deal. It had always been a big deal because as someone with multiple sclerosis, I stay in more than I go out. I rarely ever see the outside. At least there was a time. I wasn't going out and about. I didn't have a car anymore, so I wasn't going to different places that I might have gone prior to having MS. I stayed in my room a lot because my gait was different. The way I walked was different. I was ashamed, not because I should be, but because of the way it made me look when I do walk, that I had to drag my leg. And the whole time I was in my head. Imagine an illness that comes about and changes every single day of your life. It changes the symptoms. You cannot be secure that you'll even be able to get out of bed because your feet might not hold you. That that is heavy, guys. That is heavy for those of us who are suffering with multiple sclerosis and for those people who are caregivers, for things to change on a dime. Imagine always being isolated. Imagine always having to take into consideration that your legs or your feet might not carry you, that you have to depend on others, that you cannot do what it is that your whole life was able to do. It is hard on mental health to be isolated at all times, to not be able to carry out what it is, what your dreams were, what you thought your life will be, to have to change things. So that is a day in the life of an MSer. And when I say a day, I mean daily. We have to think and consider, what is it that we're going to do? What is our purpose beyond being stuck in the house? What is our purpose beyond watching TV or binging the shows that we binge because we're stuck in the bed all the time? If you have the opportunity to visit a loved one who has multiple sclerosis, do that. If you can't visit them physically, call them. Excuse me, check on the people that you love. It is something daily with us. When the pandemic came around, Everyone was aware of it. But that is our daily lives. We always struggle with isolation. And sometimes the isolation might not be physical, but might be in the mind because I can't let someone else know what it is I'm actually dealing with. Check on anyone, but make sure you check on those who do stay inside all the time because of an ailment, such as multiple sclerosis. Could be anything, any chronic illness, or any reason someone is away from the general public, if you will. If they stay inside all the time, check on them. It's not good to be isolated. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow.